you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back on another video. If you've been watching my videos, you noticed I built one raised bed. It was 8 foot by 3 foot, and I used a dog-eared fence, about 3 2x4s and 3 2x6s. So I wanted to do some 12 footers, a little bit longer. We got some walnutized wood here, and we have a lot of scrap metal that was used either on the shop build or the tractor shed build. We're going to be cutting it up into 18-inch pieces because that's going to be the height of our raised bed. I'm trying to get these beds as cheap as I possibly can, but I want them to last too. So John had one of my viewers there. John, you had a very good idea of putting some red bricks or gravel underneath of it. We're going to do some red bricks. I think that was a very good idea, and we're going to go with it. So we're going to get started cutting 18-inch pieces, and I'm going to try to do it slow. I'm going to try to do it so you guys could get the measurements and everything that I'm doing. Like I said, first thing, we need these 18 inches long. I'll figure out how many I need, get them cut, and then I'll let you know exactly what I've done. Move it out of the way. Okay, what we're doing is we're just cutting the old scraps. This is all I have is waste, and this won't be waste either. I have a friend that will come and get this stuff and recycle it, and he'll make a little bit of money off of what scraps I have left. We got about half of them cut now. I think I'm going to need approximately 10 of these cut. So we'll probably end up cutting 11 just to make sure, but I think 10 will do it because you need 4 down each side and 1 in the front and the back, or however. So it's 3 foot by 12 foot, so you need at least weighs 10. Like I said, maybe a little more, but I doubt it. So we only got 5 more to go. I did want to show you guys that I was just cutting these with 10 snips. We're not using a saw. We're only going to need to cut 10 cuts. That's not too bad. The saw kind of makes a little bit of a mess, loud noise, and I'm not into making a bunch of noise right now. And it always helps to have your cat helping you because, you know, she can help hold down the metal, right? We still haven't got a name for her. I'm not sure if the video came out yet where I asked for a little bit of help naming the cat, but she definitely runs the shop. Right, girl? So 10 snips is all you need. Simple. Old metal, and you can ask, you know, if you don't have the metal to build these raised beds and you don't have the money to buy the metal, go look at places, go down the road, and you look for a garage or a barn or a building that's built from this metal, and if you look around the sides of that building, you'll probably see some leftover scraps that they had. Ask them if they'd like to get rid of them, or maybe you can get them for a very small price. That's what I did. Backyard shopping. That's a pretty cool thing to do. So you can always find this. If people build their buildings, they have leftovers, they might just give them to you. That's a good idea. Try it out. So, 10 snips, that's what we're using. You're not going to help this time? All right. Be real careful with this because this thing does leave a lot of jagged edges and you will cut yourself. Each piece of this we're cutting is only 18 inches from here to here, 18 inches. That's going to be the height of our bed. Just like the one we built from wood. Okay, we got 10 of these cut. They're 3 feet long. It should be enough for what we need to do. So now we got some 12-foot 2x4s. These are pressure treated. This is what we're going to use to frame it out. So that's our next step. Let's get the wood cut so we can start framing it out. I know, she loves to help. All right, you're going to have to move. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut 4 of these 12-footers. We're going to cut these 138 inches or 11.5 feet. We need 4 of them that long. 138 inches or 4.5 or 11.5 foot. So now we're going to need 4 of these boards 36 inches long. Never assume that these boards are actually 12 foot. Usually they're just a little bit more. In this case, I am about 1.25 inches longer than 12 foot. So we're going to have to cut that off to get our 36-inch piece. So now we have our 4 2x4s 36, and we have our 4 2x4s 138 or 11.5 feet, 11.5 foot long. So we're gonna get to putting this thing together. Okay, these are the screws we're going to be using for this job, and we're going to be building the chicken coop. So I got a fairly decent size box of these screws. They're 3-inch long, and they have like a star bit tip on them, and they give you a small one when you get the box. If you look inside that box, you'll find one of these in there, and then you can put it to your extension, and they work really well. One nice thing about these is they're not like a Phillips head screw. They fit in there nice and tight, and you can get them screwed in pretty good. This cat just loves to get in the way, so we're going to do our best to get 2 boxes put together. We have one laid out up on this table right there. We're going to go ahead and screw a box together. We're going to screw 2 of these. That's going to be them 4 11.5 foot ones and 4 of them 36-inch ones. We're going to get them screwed together, and we'll be on our way to getting us a nice size raised bed. One nice thing about building raised beds, they're not like building a house. They don't have to be perfect. If you get off a little bit, it's not going to hurt anything. You're just going to fill them full of dirt and they're going to sit out in the yard. Okay, our first box is built right here. We want to get this from up here down on the floor without killing the cat. So don't let the cat get in the way. Come on, girl. You're going to have to get down. You like the camera, do you? Yeah, I do too. So let's get this guy down on here. They're fairly heavy. We're not going to worry about getting them really square right now. We just want to get our boxes built and get them set up on the floor here. We'll get our other one set up to build because we're going to need 2 of these. Now, if you notice, the way I'm putting these together is my 3-foot piece is coming out over this 11.5-foot piece. And that's why I cut 6 inches off of each one of these. I made them 11.5 feet long. That way we would still end up with almost a 12-foot bed. But that's going to help us out with the metal. Because those metal will cover 3-foot sections. They'll cover 3 foot. And 10 of them all together will make this box pretty much perfect. So what we're going to do is when we put our top plate on here, we're not going to do 45s because in this case the 45s are really not strong. And these beds are pretty big, they're pretty wide, and we want to have all the strength we can holding these beds in, and we do want to make sure we cover that rough edge of that metal where we cut it. And that's going to be right up here, so we're going to cover it with a 2x4, and I'll show you what I mean when we get to it. But right now, let's get this screwed together and get it laid on top of the other one down on the floor. Okay, our second one's built. We're just going to get it set up on the floor on top of the other one. All right, we're going to get ready to bend our first piece of metal that's going to go in one of the corners. This is how we're going to hold this up without putting a bunch of support braces in here and trying to get off as cheap as we can, but I think is going to be sturdy yet. So I have a metal brake that I could bend this in, but I'm sure you all don't have a metal brake, so we're going to be bending it with a couple 2x4s. We have a 2x4 laying underneath it here, and we have our line marked where we want to bend this guy. And we're going to stick that right on that line, and we're going to clamp these 2 boards together. And they're clamped right on the edge that we need to bend. Okay, since we got him right there, we're going to take this guy. Oh. We got that pretty tight. We're going to lay this over the edge, and we have it right there where we want to bend it. We're going to bend it down like so. And just take a hammer. I have a leather hammer here. If you don't have a leather one, you could take a rubber one or even a metal one for all that. And then let's beat this thing flat. Now once we got at that point, we know where our seam is going to be. We'll go ahead and take our clamps off and remove our boards. Now we can take this piece of metal. As you can see, we got our crease right there. We'll go ahead and bend this in a 90-degree angle. A nice metal brake would do this really good, but we're not using it. So now we have a really nice corner there. And if you noticed, the paint is on the inside. That was one of the reasons why it doesn't matter what color metal we have, the paint is going to be towards the inside on mine. And the reason why is if I tried to put this side up against that wood, it's not gonna lay flush. The only way it's going to lay flush is if I use the inside of the metal as the outside. And I'll show you as we go. Okay, as you can see, this is going to be our corner, and we're going to use the same screws that we used on the outside of the metal to put it down to your rafters or your purlings or whatever. You're going to use the same screws. We're just going to be screwing them from the inside. Now, what's nice about this is all the pressure is going to be pushing out on these, because we got to fill these full of dirt, so there's going to be some weight in them. Now maybe 6 foot of this, I might end up having to put a beam across the top one and the bottom one just to keep this thing from spreading out. We haven't really got to that point yet, but when we do, we'll definitely show you. So we're going to get this screwed in the corner. We want to make sure our screws are short enough they don't come out the outside. So now we have our 2 corners. All we have to do is work down our sides and head for the other corner. Okay, we've worked our way down to the corners. Now we got to finish these 2 corners. And then we're going to raise that other board that's down on the bottom up and screw it to the top. Okay, we bent this one the same way we bent the other ones in the 2 2x4s. Just got to get them in here as close as we can. We might be off a little bit. that's a tight fit, but it looks really good. So we'll go ahead and get this corner screwed in, and then we're going to work on the little corner over here. So now we got to measure out this corner and get it set up. Okay, we bent this piece in the 2x4s and we set it up there, and this rib is not going to line up with the other rib. So we need to cut this off right here. Now this is something you can use a jigsaw on, a circular saw on. 10 snips would be pretty hard, but I'm going to cut it with a carpenter knife. It is steel, and it should be able to score it and break it off. So let's try it. Alright, we're going to try to bend it on that score and see if we can break it. Okay, we broke it. Got a little rough edge right there, which I'm going to nip off there because I don't want to cut my fingers. So we cut it with a carpenter knife and it worked. Probably should have only scored it one time, but you could feel that carpenter knife digging in. You want to make sure it's digging in all the way across. So let's get this little piece put on. Alright, I got Julie on the other side. Looks like we might lose our electric. We got a big storm coming. We're going to try to raise this 2x4 to the top of this one. It's going to be a little tight.
Yeah, hold on. Here, get my fingers underneath. How do you... I can't get
Okay, you come over here. Hold
I
this.
can't get my fingers underneath
I'll come over and do that.
Okay.
You hold this one.
Oh, you got... I was trying to pick the whole board up.
No.
Oh, okay.
Get in the middle because you'll have to clamp it in the middle.
I thought that was one board.
No, the top one.
No.
You got two of them here.
I was trying to pick the bottom one up.
Okay. We want that about a 1/4 inch higher.
Wait a second.
You rest it on your knee until I can get over there.
Yeah, that's heavy. Oh.
Okay, I got mine clamped in, so I'll come over here and help you. Here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and throw some screws in this thing. Okay, let's get some screws.
Is that... Oh, shoot.
Did it go all the way down?
Yeah. I didn't have it.
Now, you know what?
Take it off. What do you want?
Just hold it there.
Okay.
All I gotta do is get a screw. You can't let it go down. You just gotta hold it
Right
up.
there.
Yeah, okay. Okay, it should hold it. Okay, we just want to make sure it's about the same all the way around.
All right.
She's my mascot.
Yeah, she's getting big. You're getting so big.
All right, we'll get the other screwed in on the other side. Okay, now we got all of our metal screwed to the inside, And what's nice about this is now when we put the dirt inside here, all it's going to do is make the metal even tighter on the sides. So we're going to get ready to go ahead and start cutting our top board for the top. Okay, I have one of these boards marked out for the top, one of the short ones. And we ended up, I needed 37.5 inches of this board. And I need this board to be 36. So the next one that I make, we're going to knock 2 inches off of the 36-inch width of the first 4 boards that we cut. I'm going to try to draw this up so we know exactly what we need to cut off each board. So those ones down there, we needed to knock 2 inches off of them. Because well, at least weighs 1.5 inches, but I'd go 2 inches. So instead of cutting them first ones at 36, I'd have cut them at 34. We're going to end up with a 34-inch bed, but that's not too much different than your 36. So that way, if you're working with this 12-foot lumber, you can get 4 of these out of one 12-foot board. As of now, we're going to be short a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and get these 2 cut and put on, and then get the 2 long ones cut. That cat, she didn't like that. Yeah, these being 37.5 is not good. We're wasting lumber. We need them to be, like I said, 36 inches total. So let's get these mounted on. Alright, so the way we got this set up is we have 3/4 of an inch overhang on the outside all the way around. The rest of it is going to be on the inside. That keeps us away from that sharp metal. We'll go ahead and get this screwed down. Now I know a lot of yins are going to say, why didn't you cut these off in 45s? Well, 45s are not going to allow me to hook it into this board here going down this way. We want to lock these together so they're as tight as we could possibly get it. And this is the tightest way. Let's get the other one put on. Now we got to get our 2 long ones. These look to be about 135.25 inches. We got a pretty good storm going on outside. Let's check it out. It's been raining, really heavy winds here in southwestern PA. You can hear it on the video. That noise is the wind blowing, the rain hitting the side of the shop. So let's get this board here screwed on. Okay, that's our second raised bed. We got enough lumber to do another one. I think this is going to hold up pretty good. It looks pretty sturdy. And I'm sure as we go with them, I will show you if I have to modify anything. But I think they're going to work out pretty good. That's 18 inches high, 36 inches wide, and 12 foot long. Now, if you notice the way we build it, we put the metal on the inside. We put it like inside out, and that's the best way to do it because it rests up against the 2x4 and it works better that way for me. You can see the inside has the different colors all through the inside, so all the painted was on the inside, and that's where the dirt's going to be anyhow. So I think it'll work out best that way. Okay, I think we built this as cheap as we possibly can, and I'll tell you, the nice thing was we had the old metal. If you have old metal laying around, this is definitely going to be the route to go because you're going to save a lot of money by not having to buy the sides. That scrap metal, all you need is 18 inches of it. If you got 18 inches, it's going to work for these raised beds. And if it don't, you can always go smaller if you want. You don't have to do 18, you can go 12 if you want. It's really up to you. I'm not so sure whether I need a brace in the center of this to keep it from spreading out. I'm not sure yet. I've really never done raised beds, so this is my first time. We may end up having to put a brace about 6 feet through here, 6 foot in the middle to keep it from spreading out. I'm not sure. We'll see. But this one's done, and we have enough material here to build one more, and I know I have enough scrap metal out there that I can get another one for sure out of it. If I have enough of that scrap metal to do 2 of them, I'm going to do 2. Trying to do a good bed that's going to last a decent amount of time, it's rough. Now, I know John, one of my viewers, said, hey, put red bricks under it or gravel. And I got access to some red bricks, so we might set them up on red bricks. And that's going to help them keep them up off the ground a little bit and then just throw the whatever inside of it. So, I would like to tell everyone, hey, thank you for using my Amazon links in the description down below. That has been helping us out tremendously. We really appreciate it. You don't have to buy what's in the link. Just click on that link and whatever you buy while you're on that link, we get a small commission from qualifying purchases. I really appreciate it, you guys doing that for me. That's one real easy way of giving to the channel without actually having to take it out of your own pocket, and I do appreciate it. I'd like to tell everyone thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment if you'd like. Until next time.